Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Beat4310 and welcome back to the Taiko World Cup 2021 recap series. Today we are here to recap how the round of 16 unfolded in the tournament and where teams stand heading into the quarterfinals. As usual, if you do enjoy the video, hit the like button and subscribe to the channel so you can stay in the know of future recap videos. Given that the group stage map pool had a higher starting level, it was not surprising to see the round of 16 have a smaller step up in difficulty in comparison to previous years. The map pool had an interesting mix of maps that aimed to serve several purposes. You had some maps like both Hard Rock picks that were purely just an extension of the elements that was tested in the previous round. There were some new skill sets introduced into the map pool repertoire, such as the streams that were scattered across the entirety of No Mod 4, the ability to read Speedy Hidden in Hidden 2, and stacking as many mods as possible on a free mod map that had a base BPM of 250 beats per minute, which is wildly unheard of in the realm of Taiko. Several custom maps were introduced into the pool as a means of testing players in one of the last good opportunities to experiment certain ideas before later stages kicked in and eliminated most teams. No Mod 5, with its gimmicks, and Free Mod 3 were examples of this. Included in the pool was a 4.5 minute double time map that had a very punishing length that would cripple several players who could not consistently stay focused for 4.5 minutes. The tiebreaker was nothing too out of the ordinary. While it was simpler to play with mods, maintaining focus for 6.5 minutes was one of the map's biggest challenges. That being said, we had nothing to worry about because the round of 16 tiebreaker has never been played in Taiko World Cup history. And according to Mango, it wasn't going to start now. The round of 16 weekend kicked off with an explosive Asian matchup between the Philippines and South Korea. South Korea was overwhelmingly favored by the Pickems community, but that did not stop the Philippines from giving their best shot. As Finby picks up another miss, as South Korea looking to just convert on their very comfortable lead. There shouldn't be too much that is left in terms of difficulty for the map. And South Korea will be taking home the first point. And there we go. After South Korea started strong with a victory on Hidden 2, Philippines looked to get on the board themselves.
Yeah, with only 4 for the map left, this is actually really intense. With only a couple misses from the Philippines, the score could actually flip over back to South Korea, and those misses from Portugal are going to help out with that.
And there's still like 30 seconds left in the map. And the lead is closing in because Pachako has to recover the combo momentum. And it's going to all tighten up ever so more, but it looks like Philippines will have enough to get away with it.
And they've done it. They've taken a break point from South Korea.
After equalizing the break point, their chances of remaining competitive was short-lived, as the Philippines went on to get convincingly beaten on all other maps. Up next was the match between Germany and Singapore. Germany was significantly favored in the Pickems, as they had a stronger lineup on paper. Yet everybody knew how scary Blara was, accompanied by strong seconds who could easily give the Germans a run for their money.
We get to the last part of the map.
Yeah, the score is slowly, ever so surely going over to Singapore, but there isn't a whole lot of map left. If we could see a miss coming from Zayfon, it would be very important for Singapore.
Oh, and another miss from you! Oh my god, wait, is there enough map left? Oh no, I don't think there is! Yeah, those 100s from Onsi in the last second. Oh my goodness. You almost just like last second tossed it over to Singapore. And Germany's gonna be taking it, gonna be taking the first breakpoint of this match over to Singapore.
Yeah, coming up right to the end of the map though is gonna be close.
Yeah, it doesn't look like there might not be enough map left. And yeah, there just isn't. Germany is actually just gonna steal that last second. Oh my, feels bad. 99, so it's Zetchi. Oh, and Mew, oh my. I think he just missed that entire pattern right there.
Starting down 0-4 was unfortunate for Singapore, but they found a breather with No Mod 5. winning at breakpoint by a margin of 75,000 points. Yet they had to follow it up with victories of their own, and they did not have much room for error.
Looks like he's going to recover quickly and go back up to 98. They're really going to need a miss from Germany any second, but as the map, this is only just
There's the
20
miss.
seconds. Oh, there is the miss. I did not see that, and it is still quite close, but... Oh, it will start sliding over to Singapore. They just need to keep up their combos, and they got this. And they do it! Oh my. And a breakpoint from Singapore! Not too much is really happening. The lead is just staying on Singapore's side, but it's not by too much. Oh no, but Zeshi with the miss on the doubles! Oh wait, no, I think that was, not double, I don't know.
It does look like there is enough of the map that it could switch back.
Yeah, it looks like it's gonna go over to Germany, I think. If they drop any 100s, it will go over to Germany. And it looks like it's just gonna be going over to Germany either way. Oh, I think Germany just stole that last second. Oh my god. A 1,000 point difference.
Losing on Hyper Base was a critical moment for Singapore. They were down 3-5, and now could only win the match through a tiebreaker. Something that has never happened in the entirety of recorded Taiko World Cup history. At least from what we knew, because we didn't keep track of the first 3 years. Even worse, they were down at breakpoint and had to survive Germany's final pick.
Zafon on that same second, really. And Zafon with a miss.
And Mew all the way down to 98.7.
And Zafon with another miss. It could go over to Singapore.
This is very exciting to see.
We could be seeing a round of 16 tiebreaker for the first time in Taiko World Cup history.
But something clicked. Zafion's underperformance gave Singapore the window of opportunity needed, but they still had to survive one last pick.
The round of 16 curse might have just been defeated.
I can't believe it.
And yeah, there's not really too much map left. It's happening, boys. Tiebreaker.
Yeah, even if we see misses now, not much is going to change.
It's happening. Oh my god. Singapore is going to be going to tiebreaker against Germany.
To Megamizer's disappointment, Singapore survived their last pick, and they did it in convincing fashion. And after finally almost 8 years of waiting, the round of 16 tiebreaker gets played. If you have not seen the full tiebreaker, go and watch it. This recap cannot truly capture the epicness of the moment that was the battle between these two teams.
And we're getting to the last section of the map. There's not a lot of map left, really. It's just going to come down to any last second misses. But I don't think it's going to happen. Is there even enough map left?
Yeah, there's not a whole lot going on at the end of this map. Everything's looking fairly consistent, just like the rest of the map.
Yeah, it doesn't look like there's much, and that is it! Oh my god!
After nearly 6.5 minutes of intense tiebreaker conflict, Singapore came out on top despite the handicap they had, with Blora allegedly sight-reading the map, which is scary because he's got that score with a sight read. Germany, who was significantly viewed to win the match, was upset by Singapore after a grueling 80 minutes. In fact, the match went for so long that by the time the broadcast switched over to the next scheduled match between Argentina and Indonesia, 3 maps had already been played, with the 4th being wrapped up. Argentina enjoyed a 3-1 start after picking up convincing wins in Nomad 2 and Hidden 2. They were up a breakpoint as they picked Double Time 1 with the hopes of extending to a 4-1 lead.
Angel, but it gets traded by Receivable, and Captain's actually gonna miss. Everyone's just missing right here. He was the only one really holding combo in this section. His lead's gonna be diminishing, but there's not really enough map left for comeback. Oh no, but actually, as I'm saying that, lead is sort of diminishing, but quite a bit.
Right, but I don't think there were enough objects barring a miss or significant act drop, but yeah, it looks like that breakpoint is going to go to Indonesia.
Following Indonesia's victory on Double Time 1, things started to close up as both teams were getting closer to 6 points.
Honestly,
it's extremely close.
Yeah, both of those 1-6 bursts, the done 1-6 burst.
Trollocat! Oh no, the slow section missed!
Wow! Section of the map. So we're kind of rounding out probably the last 20-ish seconds of the map.
Yeah, Argentina can afford a couple of back drops, really. They just need to hold a double full combo, and they've got it. And yeah, it looks like they do, and yeah, now it's tied up 4-4. Argentina getting a break point. Let's see though, this death stream, will it catch anyone off guard? It looks like everyone's holding on pretty nicely through the death stream. Not too much map really for a comeback from Indonesia. It's just going to come down to if anyone note locks last second.
Yeah, if I remember this map correctly, there's not much else in terms of evil patterning.
Doesn't look like there's too much room for comeback into this map. And yeah, that's going to be it. Argentina's going to take the point.
After just witnessing history, it was very quick to repeat itself as there was a second 5-4 result where a team had to survive their final pick and push things to tiebreaker if they had any chances of winning the match. However, things did not work out well for Indonesia's final pick on Free Mod 2. They ran out of picks, which allowed Argentina to save themselves a scary tiebreaker confrontation. It was a closely fought battle that could have turned out very differently, but Argentina's victory is still a victory, and it allowed them to advance to the quarterfinals, and it dropped Indonesia to the losers bracket. Wrapping up Saturday's schedule was the battle between Brazil and Malaysia. Brazil had been one of the more dominant teams in recent Taiko World Cups, finishing in the top 8 for the last 2 years. This year's lineup was stronger than ever before. Captaining the team was Skull Kid, followed by Hiroke, Papus, Foxer, and Communo. They had an easy time with groups, but Malaysia would be their strongest competitor thus far in the tournament. Malaysia, on the other hand, was a fierce second-pot team, who were very unfortunate enough to have Japan in their group. Yet most Malaysian players were coming off the back of a strong showing in the recent 3-digit Taiko World Cup community tournament, finishing third with most of their players on the roster. Malaysia was outskilled, but viewed by many to be at least in form heading into the match.
Holding double S.
And yeah, this is the hard part. This is the hard part.
Definitely, with all that 1-8.
Oh my god, what is that score difference?
Oh, basically flickering.
I don't think they're tied. They're ahead by like less than 100 points, maybe. It's hard to tell.
There's this dense section left of the map. Anything can definitely happen. As I did see, it looked like one.
Oh my god. Oh my god, it's tied.
Oh.
Okay, never mind, it's not tied.
And pretty much with that like slight tech bit out of the way, it's gonna be smooth sailing for the most part for most of these players, barring anything major happening. It's gonna just be chipping away at Ak. Hero K, top of the lobby right now with a 1-100 play, but Zeth not too far behind with a 2-100 play. Actually, maybe it's 3. 2 and 3.
Yeah, it got a little bit scary at the end with a few Ak drops.
Little bit, yeah.
Just a little bit. Oh, and that's really keeping their lead afloat with the play of his life right now, 99.8.
Yeah, it's such solid Ak right now. But this section here is, just from my opinion, one of the easiest sections to choke.
Big stream.
Any sort of note lock is going to shift the tides over to either team.
Malaysia's form showed, as 5 of the 7 maps played had a margin of victory of 20,000 points or less, easily becoming one of the closest matches of the weekend. Unfortunately, Malaysia was on the wrong end of every single confrontation, and it resulted in their defeat. The match result did not reflect how intensely close the match was. Sunday rolled around with 4 new matches to be played. Up first was the match between China and Canada. China was one of the only 2 teams to pull up an upset as a low seed. Leading the charge was Captain Blastix Riots, who was assisted by Okura Rizona, Utakus Rin, Pueji, and Michaelan. They were a large underdog against the strength of Team Canada. China only had 18% of people backing them up. Unfortunately for China, it was a very brutal match for them, as they were crushed by at least 150,000 points in every single map pick, with the match wrapping up in just under 40 minutes. The next match offered a bit more excitement as Taiwan would take on the United States. Taiwan's team featured a near all-new lineup. Their captain, Monkey D. Luffy, the only player to stay on board from last year, was joined by Sean Happy, Yumayo, Cheese Stingy, and B. The United States was seen as a large overdog, but compared to other overdogs in the round, they were the second lowest at 77%. After Sean Happy underperformed on Hidden 2 to start the match, they had a much closer confrontation on Nomad 4.
Completely tanked there on the 1/3 section.
And Taiwan had the slight lead for a few moments there, as pretty much as the combo momentums equal out, Taiwan and the United States are even on accuracy, as incredible as it is to say.
Yeah, any drops could be very punishing now, because we're nearing the end of the song.
Taiwan's holding the very slight lead. They only have like 2,000 points in their favor. But even picking up a lot of 100s in the last stream, it can flip the lead over. It's going to come down to the very last note here. Will Taiwan hold?
Oh no, Monkey D. Luffy!
no.
What are you doing? Oh my god, that's so painful! That was like literally the last 5 notes. You can like the last 8 notes you can see Freesound with the full combo. Monkey D. Luffy just dropping the ball at the very end. That is oh no.
Taiwan would struggle to stay competitive against the United States for the rest of the match, only winning a point on Nomad 3 before losing 6-1, barely preventing a sweep. There wasn't much to say about the matchup between Japan and Portugal. All but one person believed Japan was going to win. Portugal had survived as a low seed and was totally outclassed against the likes of Japan, who went ahead and did what Japan did best, and that is to destroy the Mappool.
Yep.
100 at the very beginning. Oh man.
Okay.
Okay. They're playing this like it's Nomad 1, and that's terrifying. Unless both Japanese players tank on that last stream.
Yeah, we would have to see something major like a note lock, but we don't see that.
Jeez, that's a ridiculous team score. 4-100 total. 7-1 from Baby Snake's actually really good.
That can definitely.
Yeah, unfortunately he's not accessing. And
Yeah.
that's going to be it. I mean, there's one more stream at the end, but Japan might be getting a perfect. Yep, they do.
They
Oh,
do. They get a maximum theoretical score.
No one has even gotten an SS on this in match yet, and well,
We just see 2 of them.
we see 2 of them from Japan.
While it was a wildly expected loss, Portugal's captain Baby Snakes did appreciate the matchup and at least walk away with an amazing individual score on Fremont 2, beating out both Akumia and Seren with a 98% full combo hidden hard rock play. The very last matchup of the weekend was between Team Italy and Team Thailand. Thailand was managed under Panamis' leadership, and with the help of Raitoli, Cappuccino, Phoenix, and Connie-san, they were able to get out of groups after comfortably fending off Poland last week. However, against Italy, who was one of the strongest teams in the tournament, they were not competitive. They had a brutal beatdown by Italy, who won 6-0 without much of a threat by the Thailand team. They did perform better than China against Canada, but it was still a dominant victory by Team Italy as Italy cruised through the match into the quarterfinals. The Pickems went all over the place as the wide range of results, including a never-before-seen tiebreaker, broke the near-perfect scores everybody had last week. Leading the pack is Taiko World Cup commentator Ethan, sitting at 34 points, who was being chased by both organizer Mangamizer and the Mappool selector Backfire at 33 points. The points distribution amongst everybody else in the top 50 were roughly even, as there was on average around 8 people for each point behind the top 3. A total of 44 people are within 6 points of the leader. Heading into the quarterfinals, the field has separated between those in the winner's bracket and those in the loser's bracket. All the teams in the winner bracket will be safe next week, and that will be the case for the rest of the tournament. But in the winner's bracket, Brazil will have to battle a resistant Singapore. Italy will face a fired-up Argentina. South Korea will have their work cut out for them facing Canada. And the United States gets their turn to face Japan. In the losers bracket, 8 teams will be fighting for their tournament lives. As Malaysia tackles Germany in what will be the most anticipated clash in losers, Thailand will look forward to a friendly time zone match with Indonesia. Philippines takes on China, and Taiwan faces Portugal. Plenty of more exciting thrills awaits in the quarterfinals pool, where new challenges await players looking to make a stand. Tune in next week as the first 4 teams will be eliminated, and the pieces are set before the deadly semi-finals kick in. This has been Beat43210. Thank you all for watching, and see you all in the next video.